Malaysia's very natural. It's a very natural place. I mean, if you get outside of the city, it quickly becomes the jungle. I came to find in 2018 that haze was a problem. It was something I never saw before because we don't have the burning of wildfires. We don't have the burning of palm oil trees and those type of situations. So I remember waking up and you look outside and it's just smog. You can't leave your house. There was pretty much a notice that, hey, schools are canceled. It's like in America. In Atlanta, we don't have snow. So when the snow comes, school's canceled, you're not leaving, everything is shut down. It was the same way for this environmental disaster where you couldn't leave. Everything was pretty much closed. All the sporting events, I play a lot of sports, rugby, American football, basketball, everything, and you can't go play outside. Everything became indoors. It was hard. It was hard because you're not used to being on house arrest, and especially not when it's out of your control. And this really did feel like it was out of our control. It didn't shut the world down. It just made it very uncomfortable to live a fulfilled life. So when I came to find out what it was, you're finding out that it's wildfires coming from Indonesia. Indonesia does not necessarily take that to be the case. They say that, hey, actually, Malaysia adds to this problem as well, but nobody's ever going to take blame, and that's part of the reason why the smog is a problem in the first place. There was a lot of pressure put on the Malaysian government to give Indonesia that hard hand of saying, hey, let's stop it. But what ended up happening from my knowledge is that they wrote a letter, a very stern letter, and Indonesia didn't want to take the full blame for it. The Malaysian government didn't really want to take the full blame for it, and nobody wanted to really stand up to the issue, but more so pass the blame because when it comes to environmental issues, it's not a lot of money to be made. It's not a sexy issue. It doesn't bring the eyeballs, it doesn't bring a whole lot of media support because it's environment. It's slow, climate change is slow. So that was the approach of the government, which is let's act slow because this issue is slow enough that it won't affect my numbers. And that is really what's adding to the mentality problems that really brings about these issues, such as with small factories pushing out the large amounts of chemicals that adds to the climate pollution. Why do you have this smog? Because of the materialistic aspect that we are in our society and the amount that we want to buy. If you don't live in a society or a community that is heavily based around usage, then there's no need for all these products, all these cars, all these materialistic things. At the end of the day, you can live beyond that. If we get to that point, then hey, we are going to really see success for not only us, but also for our children. Do we have the capacity to think beyond and think to our children and the changes we need to make now in order for our kids to thrive? I'm not sure.